Whenever leaders talk about bringing AI into their company, the conversation almost always feels like this frantic technical race. But what if the real challenge isn't about the code at all, but about clarity? We're going to dig into the quiet, human philosophy that actually determines if an AI project is a huge success or a total failure.
Okay, so picture this. You're sitting in a big leadership meeting. The topic is AI, and all of a sudden you can just feel the energy in the room shift. It gets kind of tense, fast-paced, almost clinical.
Yeah, sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? The whole conversation is about the how, the models, the data, the budgets, the timelines. It all sounds incredibly productive on the surface. And yet, you get this nagging feeling that something really, really important is being completely ignored.
So what is that thing? What's the crucial element that's missing from this high-speed, high-stakes conversation? I'll tell you, it's not a new algorithm, and it's not a bigger budget. It's something much more fundamental. And here's where we get to the absolute heart of the matter. Putting AI into practice isn't just a tech project. Believe it or not, it's a philosophical act. It actually forces you to get crystal clear about what your organization truly values. Just look at the contrast right here.
We assume the work is all about algorithms, models, and integrations. But the real work, the stuff that actually matters, that happens way before a single line of code ever gets written. It's about nailing down your purpose, using your human judgment, and at the end of the day, owning the consequences.
So what do we even mean when we say AI is a philosophical act? Well, it just means you have to have the tough conversations first. You have to decide what the system should prioritize. What does an acceptable mistake look like? What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? These are not tech questions. They're questions about who you are.
This is why AI is the ultimate mirror for your organization. Think about it. If your purpose is fuzzy, the AI's results will be just as fuzzy. If your internal thinking is all over the place, the system is just going to reflect and amplify that chaos. It shows you, with brutal honesty, what's really going on inside.
Because, you see, skipping this foundational work isn't just some minor slip-up. It has very real and often very expensive consequences.
We have this tendency to blame the technology when things go south. We'll say, oh, the model was flawed or the data was bad. But you know what? More often than not, the technology did exactly what it was told to do. The problem wasn't the machine. The problem was in the instructions we gave it. This is why these projects really fail. It all comes down to human gaps. It's because nobody took the time to actually draw the lines in the sand. Nobody decided which trade-offs were okay. The main purpose was just kind of assumed. It was never clearly spelled out so that everyone was on the same page. And this is why that's so incredibly dangerous. A single, unexamined assumption that someone makes in a meeting doesn't just stay small. Oh no, it gets encoded into the system and then it scales. It gets repeated thousands, maybe millions of times, turning a tiny little blind spot into a massive operational headache. Okay, so we've looked at the problem, we've looked at the danger, but the good news is the solution isn't some super complex framework. It's actually an act of profound simplicity. It's all about building your AI strategy on solid rock instead of shifting sand. So what is it? What's that one thing you can do, like right now, to make sure your AI journey starts off on the right foot way before you ever talk to a vendor or a data scientist? That's it. No fancy software, no expensive consultants. The most powerful tool for your AI strategy is a blank sheet of paper and the guts to answer one question with total honesty. This is the question. And the key here is to cut through all the jargon, right? Forget efficiency, forget optimization. What is the real job you need done? What's the honest, simple answer that's left after all the noise dies down? That single point of clarity is the anchor for absolutely everything that comes next. When you take a step back and look at this whole thing, you realize it's not really about technology at all. It's a deeply human process. It's really a call for a different kind of thinking from our leaders. We often feel this pressure, don't we? To become more data-driven, more robotic, just to keep up with the tech. But that's a total trap. That is not what this moment is asking of us. What AI is really doing is forcing us to double down on the very things that make us human. Our judgment, our wisdom, our ability to define a purpose, and our courage to set boundaries. It's a challenge to sharpen our own thinking before we dare ask a machine to do it for us. So as we wrap up, here's the thought I want to leave you with. Every single system you build, AI or not, is encoding a set of values and assumptions. You're either doing it on purpose or you're doing it by accident. So the only real question is, what quiet philosophy is your organization scaling today?